Bitcoin is a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. Bitcoin is basically a cryptocurrency that is used for facilitating transactions. And it is significant because it is a decentralized currency that is not owned by any bank or authority. This means that there is no middleman to help with the transactions between two parties. And in fact, the only people that are actually helping Bitcoin function are a group of volunteer coders that help maintain the algorithm to create Bitcoins in the first place. And due to the decentralized nature of Bitcoin, transactions are almost instantaneous and no middleman is needed, and therefore the time for receiving money is almost nanoseconds. And this allows for many startups in the early internet age to conduct business and send cryptocurrency via a network. And the main advantages of this are that users are in full control of their transactions and there are no hidden fees with receiving and sending Bitcoins. And it's very secure to send it over a network because of the cryptography techniques used in Bitcoin, such as private keys and blockchain technologies, which will be further explained in this video.
Let's move on to the technology that apply to Bitcoin. The technology that plays the first role in Bitcoin must be blockchain, and it is the basic technology of Bitcoin. What is blockchain? The blockchain is an internet database technology, which is also called distributed ledger technology. In simple terms, if we think of blockchain as a ledger, then reading the database is a kind of accounting behavior, and Bitcoin can be seen as the account above. Using blockchain generates many advantages. Bitcoin is the first time that human beings have completed the mutual trust transfer behavior without any intermediary participation. Since there is no centralized intermediary, letting everything run automatically through predefined procedures can not only greatly reduce costs, but also make the process efficient. And because everyone has the same ledger, it ensures that the ledger keeping process is open and transparent. Since the source code of this technology is public, people can download it to keep a diary or keep a ledger. This is simple blockchain code programmed in Python. Blockchain can be seen as the chain consisting of blocks, so the first thing is to create a block object which contains several basic properties of the block, and then record the information of this block in the form of a dictionary and return to the chain object. The next step is to generate blocks by mining. The block's ID is calculated by the SHA-256 calculation method. The calculation process is the process of mining. Given a limit condition for this ID, the miner needs to constantly change the content to calculate the results until the condition is met. The more atoms you try, the longer the calculation time. After successfully getting all blocks, a complete blockchain is finished. This is a result after running this code.
Okay. While Bitcoin solves many of the problems with our current monetary systems, it has some major constraints as well. I'm going to discuss two of these major problems of using Bitcoins in our everyday life. First of all, with any kind of electronic transaction system, the primary concern is security. While the underlying technology of Bitcoins, which is the blockchain, is secured and cannot be tampered with, but the software used to store Bitcoins in our laptops or in our computers or our smartphones, they are not secure enough. These softwares are called Bitcoin exchange or wallets. Bitcoin exchange are not regulated by government, and so they do not provide enough insurance and security for storing currencies as a regular bank would do. For example, Mt. Gox and Flexcoin, these two Bitcoin exchanges, both shut down after thousands of Bitcoins have been stolen from them by the attackers. So how do you store Bitcoin securely in your wallet? The answer is user cautiousness. The user has to treat their digital wallet as they treat their regular wallets. The best practice is to have two separate wallets for storing Bitcoins, in which the small portion of the Bitcoins is stored in one for everyday use, and the rest of the currency is stored in an offline digital wallet. This offline digital wallet safeguards most of the Bitcoins from malwares. The offline wallet needs to be kept physically secured as well. With the advancement of cybersecurity, these problems can be solved in a more efficient way. Since Bitcoin is a purely digital currency, there arises a question about how to determine the monetary value of a Bitcoin. This is our second problem. Price volatility of Bitcoin has made it hard for users to use Bitcoin in our everyday transaction. So how do we determine a fixed value for a Bitcoin? Well, the value for any object is determined by its demand and supply. The supply of Bitcoin can be impacted in two ways. First, the Bitcoin protocol allows introduction of new Bitcoins at a fixed rate, and the protocol is designed to decrease the rate over time. This creates a scenario where the demand for Bitcoin is increasing at a faster rate than the supply. This drives up the price. Secondly, the supply is impacted by the total number of Bitcoins that are allowed in the system to exist at a time. This number is capped at 21 million. When 21 million Bitcoins are in circulation, prices will depend on whether if it's logical, legal, or in demand. Other factors such as competition with other cryptocurrencies, availability of currency exchange, regulations, and legal matters help reduce the price volatility of Bitcoins.
From all this information, one can conclude that Bitcoin is a secure cryptocurrency that is also highly volatile in its dollar conversion rate. Since Bitcoin uses many cryptography techniques such as private keys and blockchain technologies, many consumers trust Bitcoin and are maintaining the fiat money status for it. Although some say that Bitcoin is not as popular because of the increase in online transactions with other currencies, such as Capital One or Bank of America transferring applications on their website, that Bitcoin is somehow devaluing. But in reality, Bitcoin will not go away soon because of just the huge demand in it and the modern technology culture. And it will also not go away as long as the 21 million Bitcoin limit hasn't been reached.